The high-flying act taking the Toronto Raptors to new heights this season. So jaw-dropping are its dunks that it brings about memories of a certain tongue-wagging aerial artist with number 23 on his jersey. But here's a message to you, Mr. Carter. As you prepare yourself for takeoff this afternoon, just keep this one thought in mind. Meet our ground crew. And welcome to Toronto, Canada. We're north of the border for a battle of two division leaders. It's the Central Division leading Toronto Raptors hosting the Midwest Division and defending world champion San Antonio Spurs in the brand new Air Canada Center. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to a rare Sunday afternoon game for you Spurs fans. Joined as always by Sean Elliott. Greg Papa is on assignment this afternoon. The Spurs now for the bad news first. They're coming off their worst loss of the season to Detroit, 102-80. In that game, they broke their 7-game win streak, and at the same time, they shot only 36%. That's a season low, and they committed 22 turnovers for Detroit's 30 points. Now for the good news. After having a disastrous start in that game, they always come back strong. In fact, Sean Elliott, when you look at the stats, they are 9-0 in their last games after losses.
Oh, you know how angry they get when they lose, and they come back really upset the next night. This team never loses 2 in a row. You'd have to go back to February of last year. Look at the wins and how they perform after they lose. One close game there, the rest of them are impressive. This team really has a statement to make. Don't think that they're not only thinking about the Detroit loss the other night, but also the last team to beat them at the Dome in the Toronto Raptors.
That's the Toronto Raptors. That's where the 21-game home win streak had to start after that game. But Toronto's very much new and improved. In fact, they are off to their best start ever in franchise history, and that's one reason why. Look at those stats.
Just a dynamite team. They're super explosive. They have a lot of talent. They've been playing well here at home, but they're inconsistent. They need to get their young guys to play like the veterans. Their young guys right now, they don't have a sense of urgency. When they get that, you're going to look at a team coming down the stretch of this season who's a strong, strong playoff contender.
But the Raptors have perhaps the most exciting player in the NBA right now, Vince Carter. And without you on the court, Sean, where you've had to do it before, how do you stop this guy?
Well, you do it by committee, the same way you do with Grant Hill. Send them to the big guys. Grant Hill did a great job, by the way, the other night of taking it to the big guys, but that doesn't happen often. So you're going to expect Tim and Dave to help the people on the perimeter tonight if Vince Carter gets to the lane. There's going to be a lot of clashes there up high above the rim.
All right, now one concern we have is Avery Johnson. He has a couple of injury problems. First, his left knee, also his left thumb on his shooting hand. By the way, you look at that. He only needs 7 assists tonight to become the Spurs' all-time assist leader. But how's he feeling right now? That's a big question.
He's feeling a lot better. Obviously, he's not 100%. He's going to give me the thumbs up. He's going to tell me he's feeling well. He's not 100%, but Avery Johnson is a warrior. He's going to go out. He's going to battle, no matter if he's hurt or not. He went out and tried it the other night against Detroit. His body didn't work well for him, but believe me, he's going to come out tonight. He hates to lose. If anybody's mad about the Detroit game, it's Avery Johnson.
He already has his game face on tonight. All right, as we take you to the tip here, keep in mind this is also a battle between two former Rookies of the Year. Vince Carter leading the Toronto Raptors, but it's Tim Duncan anchoring the San Antonio Spurs. Our tip and our starting lineups coming up next. Followed by the front court of Chucky Brown, David Robinson, and Tim Duncan. Now the backcourt has something to prove after they were outscored 41-6 against Detroit the other night. In that game, Avery Johnson 0 for 5. Lineup, of course, for the Toronto Raptors in the backcourt, D. Brown and Doug Christie. He was questionable with an ankle problem, but they say he's ready to go. Then there's Vince Carter, Antonio Davis, and Charles Oakley, the veteran. And the one thing they've done very good job, there's Butch Carter, by the way, coaching in his 100th game tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. And one thing they've done a good job here for Butch Carter is they've done a good mix of veteran help now in with a very young team earlier on.
Absolutely. They have a great mix of young players and veterans. Two of the more exciting young players in the league in Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady. This is going to be an exciting game today.
Here's who they'll be without the Christian Santa Rosa injury update for you. And keep in mind that Elliott, of course, still by my side here with a kidney transplant. Samaki Walker, he's on the injured list. He should be back. Sean Marks and Alex Radojevic, both out with left knee problems. Time for the opening tip. It'll be Davis against David Robinson. And look at Oakley. He just already has that mean look in his eye coming here from the Knicks in a trade. And he's part of that veteran front line that helped shore up here to help Vince Carter. Spurs control the opening tap, and good afternoon to you in a rare afternoon Sunday game. Look at your officials, including the veterans Dan Crawford and Ken Maurer. And the Spurs off to a slow start from the field.
Tim just trying a bank shot at a weird angle. We all know how he loves that glass, but that time it's just a tough angle.
Vince Carter, fluid from the very beginning. And Carter, I saw, by the way, Sean, practicing three-pointers out here with his left hand.
Yeah, pretty much a useless shot.
But what it does drive the point home. Got a foul right off the bat. That's Oakley trying to post up and keep David Robinson from posting up. First team foul as well. That he wanted him to use more of his left hand in varying his shots. So I think that's what the point is trying to drive home. Good players change hands.
Well, good players can use both hands, not necessarily to shoot the ball, but at least to put the ball in the basket and maybe drive left, drive right.
Avery Johnson off a tough game, 0 for 5 against Detroit. Starts it off cold tonight for the very beginning. Looked like David might have gotten a piece of that one and gets it going.
Well, that's just trying to be a little too flashy that time. He had somebody open in the corner. Instead of giving up the ball, he tries a spectacular circus shot.
And Chucky Brown makes him pay for it, so we're dead even. Early going here from the Air Canada Center. First trip ever for the Spurs here. It opened back in February, and Charles Oakley drops it from outside.
Well, that's one thing Oak can do is he can shoot the ball. And in New York, that's what he did. He was a standstill shooter. He's not going to put the ball down on the floor. He's going to stand up and shoot jumpers all night.
Well, in his 15th year, Avery thinking shot, gives it up to Mario for the three. It's a little short. And the Spurs off to an 0 for 3 start. D. Brown coming here from Boston. Looked like Avery got a piece of that. And then Tim Duncan having to use, looked like Antonio Davis to back it out. But it will go to Toronto. Quick pass inside to Carter. Nobody picked him up as he dropped in.
Well, the big people that time, they have to help Chucky out. Looked like Chucky got caught up on a screen. And really tonight, the big people have to come and help with Vince Carter, no matter who guards him. If I'm out there guarding, you need a lot of help with the big people.
Avery Johnson again, now 0 for 2 to start the game. Doug Christie playing with a questionable ankle, they said. Heard it in their victory against Washington. Carter tries to drop it in from 20, won't go. And the ball's tapped out to Mario. Robinson working on Davis with the pull-up, and it'll go. So David Robinson gets his first 2 on the board, and the Raptors still on a 2-point lead.
And that's what Big Phil is going to have to do tonight, is hit a lot of jumpers, because Oakley is a guy who's going to play Dave extremely physical. Same with Antonio Davis.
Nice steal by Tim Duncan, skying up on the pass inside to Davis. One thing the Spurs are going to have to work on, creating turnovers against this team tonight, at the same time controlling theirs in the past game. Skip pass over to Avery. He goes into the lane. David was in there setting a nice screen.
Beautiful drive by Avery. That time with the skip pass from Tim, Avery recognizes the defense is closing out on him, takes it to the basket.
Brown tried the outside shot, no good, but the ball comes back out, and he'll try and penetrate now on Robinson. Tapped out again by Davis. Good hard going to the boards here over Robinson that time. And Doug Christie will control. Now from the right wing again. Brown trying to get it to go, and it won't happen. So 0 for 2 on his last 2 possessions, and Avery will bring it down. Quick feed is tapped around. Tim did a good job of knocking it back over to Chucky for the reset. Brown again. Rims out, and Davis with the board.
Good ball movement by the Spurs. Probably need to get in their offensive set a little sooner. They were kind of toying around with Tim to Chucky, Chucky back to Tim.
Duncan there for the board. The Spurs only shooting 38% in the early going here, but the good news is Vince Carter and the Raptors only 30%.
If the Spurs can run back at Toronto, young teams traditionally do not get back on defense. They like to load. They're more into style. They're not into substance. So a lot of the older teams like to get back. The younger teams, they like to take their time getting back on defense.
Ellie trying to get in. He'll pick up a foul quickly. It'll be on Davis. That is his first, the team's second in the quarter. And the ball will go side out to Chucky Brown. There's a look at the early going here. Spurs and Toronto both with only 3 field goals. Tim Duncan finally finds the magic square, and it drops in.
Well, that's a better angle for a jumper off the glass than the first one. The first time, he was really at the elbow around the free throw line. That's a hard bank. That's a horse shot. That's a shot you shoot in horse to try to give somebody a letter.
Every time I see him shoot it from the outside, it's still amazing. Carter fakes it, goes up the second time, and he gets it to drop. Vince Carter with 6 points, leading scorer early on here as we're tied at 8 apiece.
Well, that time, Chucky really needs to concede that three-pointer. Vince Carter shooting 30% from the three-point line this year. He's only hit 9 threes. Let him make a 3 on you.
Avery went in. Vince Carter knocked it back out. It comes off of the Raptors. It looked like it was D. Brown who touched it last. It goes back to the Spurs, and Avery's upset. Only 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Yeah, he's upset, putting it mildly.
He thought he was mugged on that play and didn't get a call, and he glared over at Scott Wall. This time he takes it in. This time he gets a call by Dan Crawford, and will go against Doug Christie.
And you see how hard he took it to the basket at the time. I mean, there was slobber. There was foaming at the mouth that time. Did you see how hard he drove that ball? He was upset about not getting a call last time.
Well, and also I think he's frustrated with the fact he just had a really tough start here tonight from the field, and that combined with the fact he was 0 for 5 in the game. And the thumb may be bothering a lot more than he lets on, because he just missed at the free throw line, where he's only shooting 63% this year, and he misses them both.
Well, when you're injured, it makes you ornery. Just what happens when you corner a wild animal that's been hurt? It's going to turn on you. I don't care how big it is. And Avery right now, he's ornery. He's mad about the loss the other night. He's mad because he didn't get that call. And it's going to make him tougher. It's going to make him meaner.
Spurs get a break if they get the ball back off the missed free throw. Went out on Toronto. Now they reset with Tim Duncan, who draws a double team. But again, they pass it out quickly here. They get it over to Ellie for the 3, and he buries it.
Great ball movement. Great swing by Chucky Brown.
He is 14th in the NBA right now, three-point percentage, with 45% so far this season. That is his first 3 of this game. That is his 19th of the season. Nice shot by Oakley.
Well, Dave has played against Oakley long enough. I don't know when the last time I saw Charles Oakley put the ball on the floor and go to the basket, and Dave knows that. He's going to get up. He's going to have to get up and crowd Oakley.
Duncan going hard at the hoop, and he makes him pay. 4 now for Tim Duncan. Ball is turned back over to the Spurs. Spurs using their defense with their outside game not working. Now here comes Duncan driving hard. They call it a charge on Duncan. Good position that time by Davis.
Definitely good position. Last time Tim made a really strong move to the basket. If you can call it strength with finesse. I mean, it was a strong power move to the basket. Pretty bank off the glass.
11-4 Spurs run. We'll return with Spurs basketball following this break, and a message from Southwest Airlines. Beat the bell. All you have to do to register to win tickets to a Spurs home game, free Taco Bell food for a year, and compete on court for a big screen TV from Cons. Pick up an entry form at any Taco Bell or Cons to register to win. Beat the bell at Taco Bell. Spurs are being rebounded early on, 7-4 by Toronto. Tim Duncan trying to implore Avery Johnson. to get him the ball a little more. But Avery already with 2 assists. I mean, he is now 5 assists away from passing Johnny Moore as the Spurs all-time assist leader. Just fine.
Would that be something else? To pass the great Johnny Moore. That'd be unbelievable.
Junior, if you're watching at home, sure enjoyed watching you. We have a foul now away from the ball. It'll be on Duncan. That's his second. And so that's going to force Pop to make a change early on here in the first quarter.
He may trust just to leave Tim in. Really rolling the dice, but he knows Tim is a smart player. He's not going to pick up his third, or he's going to hope not to.
Doug Christie with his first points. Remember, his first was an offensive foul, so that was only the first team foul of the quarter. Ellie going strong, getting a piece of that inside was Tracy McGrady, who's checked in off the bench.
Tracy McGrady has a tremendous vertical leap, and he's got long arms. He plays big.
Well, from standing still, I'm surprised to find out that he has a higher vertical leap than his cousin Vince Carter.
Yeah, he does, but that doesn't take into account when you have to run and then jump, and Vince Carter is, then he's a more explosive player.
Double team comes quickly. Avery left open, and it won't go for Avery. Now 1 for 6 from the field. Outside shot still not falling again. He's playing with a hurt thumb. It is bandaged. Christie going around. Barely draws the iron on the other side, and Robinson's there for the board.
And Christie's been struggling with his shot as well, so that bodes well for the Spurs if he's going to put up a brick like that.
Tim recognizing the double team, getting the ball out quickly. Good ball movement, trying to reset inside, and there for the steal is Oakley. Oakley stepping up with a big turnover. Now the other end, Mario Ellie does an excellent job of knocking it away from McGrady.
Well, Mario can hold his own. He's not as athletic as Vince Carter or Tracy McGrady, but he's smart.
Avery finally makes him pay for the outside with a nice screen set by Tim Duncan. And that is Avery's second field goal of the game, the first outside jumper he's been able to bury tonight.
Well, you want to see him do that. Even though he misses his first couple shots, he's going to continue to shoot it.
Carter going strong here down the baseline. It won't go. Oakley's there, taps it back out to Carter again. The fall away won't go again. Robinson has to battle for it, and the little general comes up with it.
Well, like you said in our open, meet our ground crew. These guys have long arms. Dave and Tim are athletic as well.
Three-pointer that time by Mario Ellie. That is his second of the game. Drop pass back to Oakley again on the outside. Duncan was a little late coming to help that time. And again, Oakley's off to a good start with 3 field goals.
Again, you have to crowd Charles Oakley. If you see him take the ball to the basket, readjust your TV.
Avery going in again. This time it's blocked. Avery was wanting a little goaltend that time, but getting it on the way up was Davis.
This is an athletic team, Greg. I mean, they have the ability to block a lot of shots. You saw Davis block a shot that time, McGrady the time before. And let's not forget Vince Carter, how high he gets up off the ground.
Believe it or not, they are 3rd in the NBA in blocked shots, and that's showing tonight because they got guys like Oakley, McGrady, and Davis are able to do it. Jaron Jackson checking into the game. He gets a long 2 that time, and the Spurs own a 6-point advantage now late in the first quarter.
Ali's favorite shot, the long 2. You're only inches away from another point.
Inside pass is strong. Carter does a good job of reversing the side of the basket to get it to go, knowing that Robinson was on his right side.
Well, we're lucky we didn't have a dunk that time.
8 in the quarter for Carter now. Johnson trying to work around the screen set by Duncan. Does a good job of putting it up with his left hand that time.
And there's your man who's playing hurt. Missed his first couple shots, but continues to be relentless.
5-point advantage now, just over the 2-minute mark left here in the first quarter. Battle of division leaders, the last team to defeat the San Antonio Spurs at home. You got it, the Toronto Raptors. Tracy McGrady with his first 2.
I don't know if there's another team in this league that has a 2-3 combination like the Toronto Raptors. Raptors, when Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter are on the court at the same time, you can't name a more explosive, more dynamic 2-3.
So far, so good for the Spurs. They have the 4-point advantage, and we come back here to wrap up the first quarter. Back here in Canada, enjoying the game, are you, A? Time now for the Southwestern Bell Trivia here. Name the only two teams to have multiple Rookies of the Year in the 90s. Think about this. This is not a timed event. We give you plenty of time. Back on the court now, draws David Robinson to the Spurs. Terry Porter now checking into the game. The Spurs have been out-rebounded so far, 11-7, but in second chance points, the Spurs outdoing the Raptors and Charles Oakley, 7-2. Malik Rose also back in for the Spurs. Back in, I should say, this is his first time in this particular game. But he's been bothered by a few thousand injuries, too, having to fight through them.
Well, his knees are bothering him a little bit, but they've been bothering him all year long, and he's still come out and competed.
Oakley got a piece of that one from David. Robinson didn't complain, so clean block. And now foul away from the ball. Looks like it will go against Mario Ellie, and it does.
Well, that's the new rules right there. Because basically, Mario just gave him a bump going to the post, just impeded his progress a little bit. If this was last year, there's no foul called, because you don't want to just let a man go down there and find his position on the post.
Just got hit with a technical foul on Mario Ellie. The foul was called by Scott Wall, the less senior of the officiating crew here, and Mario can't believe it. Doug Christie will go to the line to shoot the technical here. It looked to us from here, it was a ticky-tack foul, but like you were saying, that's more the new NBA rules that everyone's having to get adjusted to.
Absolutely. The league really wants to get away from it being a wrestling match. They want to get back to pure basketball. But really, that foul there was just a little bump going to the post.
Davis from the top of the key. It won't go. Robinson's there for the board. Trying to play catch-up on the boards against Toronto tonight.
Well, that time they read the scouting report right. You want to let Antonio Davis shoot those top-of-the-key jumpers all night.
Send the limo, right?
Right.
Oakley almost knocked it away. David tried to get it back up in there. Mario's banging, but coming up with it is McGrady.
And that's where Dave is going to have a problem with Oakley in the post because he's so physical.
Blocking foul as McGrady drove into the basket. Called by Ken Maurer, and that will be on Robinson. That is his first. Should be the team third, but is his second in the last two. So they will go to the line. Muggsy Bogues checking into the game for the Toronto Raptors. And look at Muggsy, still the smallest player in the NBA, 5'3".
And the crowd loves him here.
Well, they love him everywhere. When he played in Golden State, they loved him there. When he played in Charlotte, they loved him there. He's a fan favorite all over.
Well, he relates to everybody. Most people aren't 6'8", 7 feet tall running around. They're more Muggsy size. I mean, you want to see what an average person's going to look like on an NBA court. You look at Muggsy Bogues.
Or Avery Johnson. I mean, look at Avery. He's only 5'11", but compared again, he's towering over Muggsy.
Absolutely.
Checking out will be Mario Ellie after getting the technical called on him. Porter's in now along with Jaren Jackson, Malik Rose, David, and Chucky Brown. McGrady will get both of them. And now the Raptors are within one as we close out the first quarter. Jaren Jackson's been struggling with his outside shot from the field. Feeds it inside to Malik. He can't get a call. And the ball will go back over to Toronto. Muggsy working his zigzag route. McGrady can't get it to fall, and Brown is there for the rebound. Check that. Jaren Jackson hauls it in.
Tough shot by Tracy McGrady.
What a mismatch. Porter and Muggsy Bogues on defense. Rose can't get it to go. It's tapped around. Goes to Toronto. Robinson came in to try and knock it off the board and got it to go over at the shot clock.
Malik has had a tough time of getting calls. That time, I heard skin on skin. Everybody heard skin on skin. He doesn't get the call, but he needs to learn to continue to play, and that's what he's done of late. He's not going to complain. He's just going to continue to play.
And if you play hard, you will get the calls down the stretch, and that's what you want to build up through that fourth quarter.
Absolutely you will.
So you get the calls when you need them, and the game's on the line. McGrady set up now against Brown. He'll pull up with a jumper. In and out. Robinson board. And that ends the first quarter of action. It's been a dandy. Toronto closes out on a 7-2 run as Chucky Brown and the rest of the Spurs regroup. Spurs basketball will continue after these words from Diamond Shamrock. We're here in Toronto, Canada. Seats 19,800. So far, I believe they haven't had a sellout yet. But the Spurs are not going to sell out to the Toronto Raptors. No sirree, Bob. Time now for the Diamond Shamrock our first quarter recap. Spurs out shooting the Raptors. Neither team doing very well from the field off the bat. Charles Oakley already 6 points and 5 rebounds. Avery Johnson 6 points. He is now 4 assists away from breaking Johnny Moore as the all-time assist leader in Spurs history. And another little note here. The Spurs are #1 in the NBA in block shots. The Raptors are 3rd in the NBA in block shots. And right now, the Raptors are outblocking the Spurs 6-2 after the first quarter.
Well, the Raptors are fired up. This is a national television game in Canada. So these guys are going to play a lot tougher. They want to show Canada that they have a team that can compete.
But doesn't everybody want to play tougher when you're the defending world champions? Seems like every game is a slugfest lately, especially on the road. Kevin Willis, who just checked in, he gets a hook to fall for his first 2. Willis in his 16th season in the NBA. Rumored at one time to be coming to San Antonio and never made it.
Never made it, and I know for a fact that he wanted to come here to San Antonio very badly. Didn't work out for him, but he's found a nice home in Toronto. He's playing a great role. He's coming off the bench, doing a lot of things for this team.
6 points for Tim Duncan as he buries the outside jumper. He had 4 in the first quarter, 2 to start now the second, 3 of 4 from the field early on. Trying to improve that Spurs shooting percentage from the outside. They need to get the perimeter game going. Malik Rose is guarding that time. See if he'll get called for it. He will. That is his first, the team first in the quarter.
Well, Malik is making a conscious effort not to talk to the referees, but you have to pick your spots. You don't talk to them if you think you're fouled and the play's going the other way. You don't talk to them then. But in that situation where there's a stop and play, then you pick your point and you say, hey, you know, maybe I didn't touch him. That wasn't a foul. What happened on the other end? You got to know how to talk to the guys.
Tim Duncan could have gotten his 3rd foul. Let's see if they call it on him. Davis is going up. Nope, they did not call it on Duncan. It's on Terry Porter. That is his first, the team's second. And Davis will go to the line. Duncan barely avoided his 3rd foul there.
He's got to be careful. And Pop has really gambled by leaving him in the game, but at the same time, Tim is smart. He knows that if he goes out with his 3rd foul, that this team's going to be in dire straits.
He got a shot there of Butch Carter, who I don't know how many people know this. His brother plays for the Minnesota Vikings. That is Chris Carter.
Well, I didn't know that.
You do now. That's why I'm here, to inform everyone, including yourself. There's Felton Spencer making an early appearance in the game after they went to Kevin Willis off the bench. Loose ball foul goes the other way.
That time you have an over the back on Felton Spencer. Again, though, I don't think Felton was really creating an advantage for himself. Kevin Willis easily got the rebound.
Only his 2nd appearance after being on the injured list for the first set of games in November. He replaced, of course, Samaki Walker, who they feared at one time had broken a bone in his foot, but he's okay. Should be back after sitting out 5. And Antonio Davis gets the hook to fall for his first field goal, his 3rd point. Now the Raptors are up 2.
Well, let's see if Toronto tries to go at Tim Duncan, knowing that he has 2 fouls, and he's going to back off a little bit on defense so he can stay in the game.
Duncan posting up and making a good job of getting the hook to go off the glass. But Tim Duncan getting a little more aggressive. That time the Raptors let him down very low.
Well, right now, with Tim in the game, he's the only guy that can create offense for other people on the floor. So you need him to stay in the game. Other people feed off of him.
Double team goes to Davis, kicks it outside to Bogues. It won't go. And Tim Duncan hauls in another rebound. That is only his 2nd of the game. Ball goes out, and it will be Toronto ball. We've got a timeout with the Raptors closing in on the Spurs and doing a good job of starting the 2nd quarter. There's a look at Tim Duncan as he backs down Kevin Willis to get it to go. We'll return to Spurs basketball following this break and this message from Southwest Airlines. Never guess, it's San Antonio and Toronto. Of course, the Spurs with David Robinson and Tim Duncan, and the Toronto Raptors with Vince Carter and Damon Stoudemire. Did you know that?
Yes, I knew that because I looked at the cheat sheet.
why you are the smart man you are.
I was going to guess Golden State, but they had Mitch Richmond. He was in the 80s.
He's very old by comparison.
What's that?
He's very old by comparison.
Oh, yeah.
Muggsy Bogues brings it up now for the Raptors. They're dead even at 26 apiece here. 1 quarter way through this second quarter and getting the foul called. It looks like it will go on Duncan this time because Davis turned. That should be his third, and Duncan's upset with himself.
But that's exactly what Toronto